Nnamdi KANU should not defend himself. Are you saying that he should go to jail?
KANU?
Yes.
KANU doesn't have any case to answer.
What do you mean?
As far as this case is concerned,
he was to submit to his views and capacities.
Because he was kidnapped in Kenya, brought to Nigeria. So he's asking Nigerian government which law? Is it Ghana law you are using to try?
I mean Nigerian law. Or British law. Or the French law.
Can't you see the way
which of the law now
is lecturing Omotosho? In court, because Omotosho said don't know what he's doing.
To open a defense is sending KANU to jail. How true is that?
It's true, because in law, when you file no case submission, the judge is at liberty, depending on the facts before the judge, to ask you to open your defense or to rely on the no case submission and discharge the case. However, when the judge says open your defense, it doesn't amount to guilty. That does not mean the accused is guilty. The question here is, by the time you refuse to open your defense, what it implies is you are saying the judge is at liberty to take judgment based on the position made by the prosecution. That is why the judge consistently asking that don't waive your right of defense, because the implication is that the judge may rely on the submission or the prosecution. It's just like putting all your eggs in one basket when you refuse to open your defense, because when you open your defense, chances are that by the time the judge wants to give judgment, the judge will rely on those your arguments based on the fact that you are saying the law upon which you have been tried have been repealed. The judge has said you have noted all your arguments with respect to issue and borders on that the law upon which you have been tried is already repealed. He said you address that concern at the end of the judgment, at the end of the day when you want to give judgment. So if you have opened his defense, definitely the judge will hear his own side of it.
Now let me.
And he would have called his witnesses.
Now let's listen to him.
After giving the judgment, you will not call his witnesses.
You don't know how it works. I'm telling you that the judge said.
Are you a lawyer?
The judge clear.
Was monitoring the judgment.
He told me say.
He said that all the prayer he made will be considered.
Because
after judgment has been given. And what does that mean?
If you raise objection, you raise issues, the court will tell you that we are going to address it on judgment day. So I want to tell you that all the issue raised on the judgment day, the judge will take time to address them one after the other. The point I want to make ultimately is that anybody that advises not to open that defense didn't mean well for him.
Let me ask you, at the initial time when Justice Omotosho started this case, first he apologized to Mmazi that it's wrong for Nigerian government to have delayed this judgment over 10 years. And he made a promise on the public domain that his case will not linger more than 4 or 5 weeks. In this case now has spent over 6 months, he has been calling attorney and all this. I'm not saying what you are asking me to open defense for. The court of appeal has already did the copy. So you just need to go and visit and get a copy of the judgment of court of appeal and Supreme Court.
And he also tell that
look, what are you using to try? You are asking me to open
for the judge to review the judgment that has been
moreover, this case we are talking about Kenya court has delivered.
They are not going to review the position
that Nnamdi KANU
until after you have given your judgment.
I'm not to Nigeria. I'm such a law. I have been saying it that even if let's agree that Nnamdi KANU commit treason, let's accept it. But in as far as the Buhari government went ahead and kidnapped Nnamdi KANU, it has died the case. Because Nigerian law is not supporting for you to go and kidnap your citizen for another man country. Bring him and come and be tried. That alone, Nigerian government has messed everything.
Has not the right
to do is to return Nnamdi KANU to Kenya and find a way to bring him legally to Nigeria to come and face his trial. This young man have explained to the court that I did not jump bail. I ran away from the country for my health because Nigerian army invaded my hometown. Call it Operation Python Dance, where over 28 people were killed. This incident resulted to the death of Mmazi and the KANU father and his mother. That he ran for his dear life. Even the man who stand as a judge for him, Senator Baribi, supported. It was not that after his bail, not call for Nnamdi KANU and Nnamdi KANU is nowhere to be found. Why did the Nigerian army storm his house? They killed Operation Python Dance. Don't forget that this thing did not happen to only Mmazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's also happened to Sunday Igboho that Professor Omotosho is calling the federal government to compensate Sunday Igboho because the same Buhari that carried boys took Nigeria army to Sunday Igboho house where they killed many people and Sunday Igboho also took around for his teller. What these two guys are fighting for is because of the dominance of Fulani who they claim that Nigeria is for them for crap. So if you look at all these things, why the Buhari government, Buhari is Tinubu is a Yoruba man, Dr. Omotosho is a Yoruba man, it's not as if the Yorubas are colluding with the Fulani against him. So that's why I said Tinubu has to be very careful. It's not about it, it's not going to be there forever. The Igbos and the Yoruba have been ages. Is Tinubu thinking that by sentencing Mmazi Nnamdi Kanu to prison, it will just go like that? No, power is transit. Tinubu will leave that power tomorrow. But if he leave, what will people say after him? That's just it. We are seeing the case where the Fulani bandits now they are killing general. He still pay attention to it. All his after is about how he to become president.
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu case where the people, even Yoruba elite, everybody has said settle this case amicably. Even Justice Senior Justice, he defeated federal government. That was fight against Mmazi Nnamdi.
Okay, the way I would like to ask one question. You know, in football, before you can defend, you must have an attacker. And in the court of law, before you can defend a case, you must have a ground, must have an established case to defend. What exactly is the established case for Nnamdi to defend?
You are not getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying, abolition is that in court proceeding, after the prosecution finish their case, call other witnesses, the defense will be asked to open his defense. It is within your right to say, I am filing no case submission, meaning you are telling the court that you have no case to answer. And the court will rule on that application, having listened to you. And that when the court says open your defense does not mean that you are guilty. Okay. And that refusing to open your defense means you are keeping all your eggs in one basket. Because by the time you open your defense, you call your witnesses, you are countering all the arguments made by the prosecution in the course of the prosecution. And we have seen in the course of the prosecution how the judge at several intervals asked the accused to open his defense. So I'm saying that those that advise him not to open his defense do not mean well for him. In my considered opinion. Because the implication may be there because the judge may rely on the position of the argument that came from the prosecution. Okay. So that's why I say it is better he have opened his defense than the way it is.
Now, still talking about this case, I remember that Nnamdi Kanu actually read out some names of his witness, mentioning Wike, governor of Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, and some other people. How come those people didn't appear in court before this final judgment?
I think what happened was it was when he decided to not to defend himself. Because at some point I understand that the court actually made the letter ready, waiting for the court belly to go and deliver to those people who will be subpoenaed. I think I could remember that at some point a Wike responded that if he subpoenaed, he will appear. But what I understand that if you are subpoenaing someone, it behoves of the court to deliver such data because you are asking court to enforce the appearance of those people. So I think it's required because he has decided to not to defend himself. That is why they need to invite them during arrive.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appellate court, they have not really sat on the Nnamdi Kanu's submission of no case of defense, or he submitted, or he went to the Supreme Court to ask the Supreme Court to stop the judgment come 20th of November. Now, till now, we've learned that the appellate and the Supreme Court have now actually sat on that since then. So, what will happen now? What is our expectation, sir?
No, the truth of the matter, we say a time without number that you see, even till now, Mmazi Nnamdi Kanu should be applauded for him to be able to drag Nigerian government up to this level. But if you see it in all ramifications, the judiciary have been adjourned by Nigerian politicians. If you listen to today's news, you can see that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is crying woefully now that he's afraid the way in which people now buy judgment. And you are the father of this because this is what we complain to. when you busy doing it, because when the criminal justice, the criminal what is it called, Yakub, who fraudulently default Nigeria because he told Nigeria after collecting ridiculous amount of money that is going to give credible election, and he do fraudulent election, we be expecting the judiciary to do the need. If I thought you are declaring Bola Ahmed Tinubu criminal, there should be a rerun on this thing. But the judiciary, they overlook all those things. As it's been said, allegedly, that Wike has colluded with the judiciary, pocketing the judiciary. Whoever the wicked determined to win cases, who is winning cases. Don't forget that this Justice Omotosho, who is in charge of this Mmazi and the KANU case, is loyal to Wike. And people are even saying that Justice Omotosho is serving the Wike team in the money. So you can see that whatever these politicians, whichever way they want this case to string it to, is what way it's stringing to now. You see that we are bringing embarrassment to us as a country. I've said it that without number. Mmazi and the KANU is a choosing one, whether you accept it or not. If what Mmazi and the KANU is passing through today, if it's not that he's choosing one, he will have long dead long time ago. But because Mmazi and the KANU is not on this, that's why you can see it's going. But you can see that the judiciary of Nigeria today is nothing to write home about. And that's why you can see the case of this PDP and this PDP issue, where Wike court in Abuja will deliver judgment, they will not be conviction. What is it called? Makinde court, you also buy your whole court.
Okay.
That will deliver judgment. So in all of these things, what I'm trying to tell you is that whatever that happened, which is on the 20th of this month, it's not going to be a shocking thing to us because we know that Nigeria judiciary is compromised.
All right, you just said something that Nnamdi Kanu is a choosing one. He's a choosing one to be the president of Nigeria or to lead the Biafran.
No, as we talk, I've said it time without number, there's nothing like Nigeria.
Oh.
This Nigeria is being formed in a fraudulent way. Lugard and Flora use Nigeria to do boyfriend and girlfriend. You understand? So that's why they form Nigeria. So you can see, when people are saying that God is the one that formed Nigeria, God never formed Nigeria. God never formed Nigeria. It is people that form Nigeria out of their selfish interest, which is the Britain. And that's why you can see in the case of this Mmazi and the KANU, KANU is a British, is a citizen of Britain. But have you ever seen that the Britain, they talk about it, how it was being kidnapped in Kenya? No, because they know that they are reaping from Nigeria. They know that what KANU is fighting for, it will affect them. For them not to be leaking from Nigeria. And that's why they refuse to talk. Let me shock that in this case of this Mmazi and the KANU, is being reportedly now, or allegedly, that the UK government collude with Kenya government to kidnap Mmazi. Because they knew that if it happened in their soil, it would be an embarrassment to them for the world. And that's why they push it to one of the countries in Africa. So this kind of rascality to happen during the war. But I am not surprised if the Nigerian government feels that it is right to sentence Mmazi. KANU will not be the first person to go into prison. He will go and come back. I said the time will talk about why we keep criticizing Finland. Despite the Finland government, they also collude with Nigerian government by fasting the prosecution of Samuel Ekpa. Samuel Ekpa is given 6 years prison, which is the 6 years is equivalent to 3 years. Before Buhari Tinubu re-election next year, Samuel Ekpa will gain his freedom. So if Nigerian government, even despite that there is no law to judge Mmazi and the KANU, if they decided to sentence Mmazi and the KANU,
on what premise?
We will be a laughing stock to the world.
All right.
You understand? We'll be a laughing stock to the world. Let's end it here.
Eziogu, please, in 1 minute, can we have your final take on this Mmazi and the KANU matter?
Well, for me, Nigeria has no right to initiate the trial of Mmazi and the KANU in the first place. Because the alleged crime was committed outside the Nigerian jurisdiction, which is in United Kingdom. And most of being that the Nigerian government violated international treaty by his extraordinary rendition. So Nigeria had lost that legal right to even try Mmazi and the KANU in the first instance. So you can't be a beneficiary of the illegality, the gross violation of international treaties, which is a punishable offense. It's rather unfortunate. Now, considering the submission of the mass witness, the DSS witnesses, they were muttering words. They don't even know, even by their presentations and the rest of them. They also affirmed that there was no incriminating material found with Mmazi because that would suggest treasoning or terrorism. So if even the witness bear attests that there is no any incriminating object found with Mmazi Nnamdi KANU, which means already there is no case. The case or the allegation bordering on treason and terrorism has already been squashed by the submission of the witness, the prosecuting witnesses that was arraigned in the court. They said, we found no incriminating object suggesting terrorism. Out of terrorism, he was found with microphone and addressing system. So does that amount to terrorism? So if you are accusing somebody, you, the accuser, must prove beyond reasonable doubt that this man, the accused, is guilty of such. But the witnesses you tendered have already struck you out of balance. That there was no incriminating materials found with Mmazi Nnamdi KANU. So on what basis should James Omotosho proceed in giving judgment?
Okay, sir.
This informed the reason why Mmazi Nnamdi KANU said he had reviewed his case file and found there was no valid charge against him.
In 30 seconds, what do you think or what should we expect come 20th of November 2025? Less than 3 days now.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything different from the recent position expressed by the president. He expressed worry, concern over the growing decadence and corruption in the judicial system. So already the government, the president already have indicted the judiciary that they are corrupt, fantastically corrupt. So there is nothing you should expect from a corrupt institution than, of course, corruption. So for me, that is the case. But whatever happens, of course, there are interested parties to this case, and hopefully, Mmazi Nnamdi KANU will seek redress, and justice must have justice at all costs.
Thank you, sir.
There are substantive court ruling valid by an appellate court of law concerning this case. So what else is Judge Omotosho going to? Is he more intelligent than the 6th judge of appeal court that reviewed the case of Mmazi Nnamdi KANU and struck out even all the count charges against him? So a lower court like higher court cannot overrule the position, the substantive
expectation.
Okay, you move it.
Come 20th of November 2025.
To say this, my expectation is to apprehend
Councillor.
judgment of the courts, and we understand that it is prejudice to apprehend the judgment of the courts. But I've already told you that for me, it was not wise asking the man Nnamdi KANU not to open his defense, just as the court put it, or rather the judge put it, that he wouldn't advise him to waive his right of defense. And at some point, he made him to understand that he should seek the advice of experts in criminology to know the implication of his option. But I want to believe that at the end of the day, the court will make pronouncements, whatever, whichever way it goes. I know that the Nigerians, on going by section 50 of the constitution, have right to criticize judgment of the court, but before judgment, no one have right to prevent the outcome.
Thank you, sir. Favor. Who will go to jail?
No, of course, in the way it is clearly that Omotosho have compromised and the federal government in this case, because what we are seeing now is that you can see before Mmazi Nnamdi KANU will be fighting to stop the judgment, they have more information than we outside. Is to tell you that they have compromised on this case. But nevertheless, Mmazi Nnamdi KANU will not be the first person that will go to jail. Don't forget that Nelson Mandela also goes to jail. So
is that to say you have given up?
There's never a time has given up. See, Mmazi Nnamdi KANU himself have said it that there's no any price that's too big for him to pay. But the truth of the matter is that his message has been heard. He has been hosted for many years now, but the message he has dropped is still relevant to today. Everything they have said concerning Nigeria, which one has it not come to pass? So you can kill the messenger, but you cannot kill the message. That's what we are saying. So if the Nigerian government will collude with the court and deliver judgment tomorrow, I'm not going to be shocked, because even we are in Nigeria whereby we see what happened in 2023, and the judges said this is what they see, and all of us we are still alive today. So whatever that happened, which is on the 20th of November, we will all leave it to witnesses, and at the end of it all, the truth will most surely prevail.
Thank you.